Hello, and welcome to the pod. My name is Rose, and today you'll be learning about airflow sensors. The properties of air can change as it enters the engine to be used as part of the combustion process. Now, air can expand and condense depending upon the air temperature, the air pressure, whether or not the engine is using forced induction, as well as depending upon the locational altitude of the car. So whether the car is being used at a low altitude or a high altitude would affect the air that goes into the engine. So for example, would the car be racing at Pukekohe Raceway in New Zealand or all the way up in Pikes Peak, where the air would be colder and less dense? However, the amount of air which enters the engine needs to be known so that the engine would function properly. The airflow sensors measure the amount of air that is flowing into the engine and converts it into an electrical signal which is sent to the electronic control unit, or the ECU, of the car. The airflow into the engine is measured by either one of these two airflow sensors. On the board beside me here, we have a vane or moving vane sensor and a hot wire sensor. Now, the moving vane sensor has a flap which sits in the air intake, and as air is being drawn into the engine, the air pushes against this vane or the flap, and as the vane opens and closes, it is linked to a potentiometer, which means that it would increase or decrease the amount of voltage that is sent and measured by the ECU. The hot wire sensor over here measures the airflow into the engine via a hot wire which protrudes into the airstream that goes into the engine. And it has a voltage which is kept constant applied to it. And as the air flows into the engine, it cools down the wires. And as the wires cool down, it decreases the temperature, which also decreases the wire's resistance, electrical resistance. And this in turn increases the current that flows in the wire. Now, it is this increase in the current that's flowing in the wire which is measured and is used by the ECU to calculate or measure the amount of air flow into the engine. Now, apart from the difference being that the vane sensor has moving parts, whereas the hot wire doesn't have any moving parts, the vane sensor is used to measure the airflow by the air volume going past it, whereas the hot wire measures the airflow by measuring or is dependent upon the air mass that flows past it. Now, the electrical signal that can be obtained from either of these two sensors and sent to the ECU is used in conjunction with other sensors, such as the oxygen sensor and the temperature sensor. And those electrical signals are sent to the ECU so that it can calculate how long the injectors, or the fuel injectors, would need to stay open when they inject fuel into the engine. So that's it for today. If you like this video, like it, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel, ADriftingStar. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have fun and have a good day.